Wow. Greetings, fellow mutant. Wait a minute. Look at that. I ain't doing it right. Hold on for a minute. Greetings, fellow mutants. It's Father's Day. And I know I'm a day late. Just got back from vacation. Had a good time. And the equipment I had to record my videos went out on me. That's sad, man. Technology fails you when you need it the most. But I want to take you back, before I get started, I want to take you back to the year 1908. A little girl named Sonora Smart was sitting in church one day. And she just thought, I want to honor my father the way mothers are being honored in this country. Now, Father's Day, there have been many attempts to make Father's Day a national holiday in this country. But because fathers don't receive the same sentiment as women, it was kind of, chucked. It's kind of chucked out. But anyway, Sonora Smart, who was raised by a single father, went on a campaign in the year 1909 to get Father's Day recognized as a holiday. A year later, the first Father's Day was celebrated. Now, why was Sonora Smart raised by her single father? Because her mother died giving childbirth to her sixth child. Why is this important? I want to use this as an illustration of the mindset of women today compared to the mindset of women back then. And why we're in the mess we're in today. Why we have men, or young men, in and out of prison with no fathers in the home. Why? Comes down to a mindset. I want to use this story as an illustration of what's going on, what's wrong in society today. For one, society, and America in particular, is trying to erase fatherhood. They're trying to take fathers out the picture. I'll give you one example. When welfare was extended to African American women, because you understand, when welfare first came out, African American women cannot get welfare. They cannot get food stamps. They cannot get money from the government. Well, until the Civil Rights Movement stepped in, and, welfare was extended to African American women, but under one condition: you cannot have a man in the house. That's one example. Way back in the 60s, the government tried to remove man out the house. The government tried to be the man in the house. Let me get into this real quick. Sonora Smart, her mom had 6 children by the same individual. What's so fascinating, what's so awesome about this to me is because it's very rare today, from where I come from, where I'm born at, to see one woman and one man and all of their kids belong to them. What I see today is a lot of women, a lot of females with 3 and 4 kids by 3 and 4 different baby daddies. But then they want to walk down the street and say, "Oh, I'm mother and father." I'll get to that statement in a minute because that irritates me to death. And next one right here, I'm going to yada. Why yada? But I won't. I'll just say you have a good day. And I hope you get your tubes tied. Or stop laying on your back with these deadbeats. But anyway, getting to this woman, Sonora Smart. I don't know why I keep calling Sakura. I don't know. But anyway. This woman, when she obviously chose the man who she was going to marry, and most likely during that time she didn't have kids until after the day she said, "I do." Another point that a lot of women need to get into their minds. But when she chose the man who she's going to have 6 kids with, she obviously had something in the back of her mind that this was the dude that was going to stick around and take care of those kids. This was a dude that was going to go to work, support my family, and come home every day. And if a lot of women thought like this sister back in the day, you wouldn't have no need to say, I'm mother and father. Because father would come home every day. He wouldn't spit that weak game to you. You lay on your back, and he out the door. But no, a lot of women don't do that. A lot of women see these dudes on the street with 5 or 6 kids by different women, haven't bought one bag of diapers for them kids, haven't spent no time with them kids, don't even know their names. But for some reason, she think my coochie is going to make this dude change. And so she invite this dude because he spit this weak game to her. She come lay on her back, let this dude sleep on her couch, and there she go, have a kid with him, and what he do? Just like he did with the other kids, he out the door. And there you go with a child that don't have a father. And while you pregnant with that child, this woman invited a whole nother dude up in her house. So while she pregnant, she's still with another man. Instead of worrying about how she gonna raise this kid to be a well-established individual, she worried about another dude. She out there chasing other dudes. But then when it comes Father Day, oh, I'm mother and father. No, you ain't, chick. You some stupid female that chose stupid. And now you looking stupid. And you gotta overcompensate and make yourself get some kind of cookie or something. Some kind of, what do you call that? Some kind of See, now I'm looking stupid. You trying to get some comments because you made a stupid choice. Now you trying to make people commend you by saying you the mother and father. No, you ain't the mother and father. Unless you were a hermaphrodite or you impregnate yourself, you only mommy. And the only thing is you stepped up to the plate and did what you're supposed to do. You don't need a cookie for that. So no, you ain't no mother and father. You woman lays on your back, let some dude come between you and stepped out the door. That's what you are. Go look in the mirror and say that on Father's Day. Go bring your kids in the room and say, I'm sorry for messing up your life. Because mommy was weak. No, I'm not mother and father. I'm just some dumb chick. And let some dude come lay up at me and then pay me no compensation prize. Shoot, even prostitutes get paid more than you. And they even have kids. But getting back to fatherhood because it's very important. And see, as I said before, this woman back in the day, she obviously thought deeply that this is the man who I want to marry because I know when I have kids with him, he's going to come home to me every day. And when I have my second child, it's going to be his. And he's going to take care of it. See, a lot of women today, a lot of females today thought like that. A lot of crime would simply vanish. A lot of prisons would be less empty, would be less full. But no, they don't think like that. Because mommy can never do no wrong. Then you have rappers like Tupac come out, even as a crack queen mama, you always a black queen mama. No, queens don't need to smoke crack, Tupac. Stop commending these dumb women. Just because you came between their legs, they don't make them no queen. You need to have a king besides you to be a queen. Remember that. So a single mama will never be a queen. She'll be somebody who takes her responsibility because she chose stupidly. So again, to you fathers who's coming home every day, taking care of kids, spending time with them, spending money on them, reassuring them, actually know what they like and dislike, I salute you. And I salute myself. Anyway, as I was saying before I get interrupted, fatherhood is very, very important. If you don't believe me, ask yourself this. Why is 85% of felons, why do 85% of them come from a single parent home? Why were 85% of them raised without a father in the home? Why does all the projects and all the Section 8 buildings and all the hood and urban areas, why are they ran by women? Why are there no men in that house? And when I say man, I'm talking about one who take care of responsibility. Not just because he got something between his legs. I'm talking about one who has the mentality of a man. I heard this story a long time ago, and it's going to illustrate what I'm talking about. Because, you can learn a lot from the animal kingdom. Even the Bible said that. Even Jesus used illustration that he said, look at the sparrow. He said, look at the animal kingdom and learn a lot from them. But we can learn a lot from animal kingdom as far as why humans act the way they do. Let me read this story about the white rhino elephant. Very interesting. It said, some years ago, officials at the Kruger National Park and Game Reserve in South Africa were faced with a growing elephant problem. And let me sum this up for you illiterates. Basically what happened is, elephants was humping, right? And they kept having kids. So they had a problem. Kind of became overpopulated. The population of African elephants, once endangered, had grown larger than the park could sustain. So measures had to be taken to thin the ranks. A plan was devised to relocate some of the elephants to other African game reserves. Being enormous creatures, elephants are not easily transported, so a special harness was created to airlift the elephants and fly them out of the park using helicopters. The helicopters were up to the task, but as it turned out, the harness wasn't. It could handle the juvenile and adult female elephants, but not the huge African bull elephants. I'm sorry, did I say rhino? I mean bull. A quick solution had to be found, so a decision was made to leave the much larger bulls at Kruger and relocate only some of the female elephants and juvenile males. So basically what they did, since they were so heavy, they said we got to move the females and just the juveniles. Leave the big males here, but move the females over here and the juveniles. Just like they do in the projects, right? Just like they do in Section 8, right? Don't they move the father and put the juveniles and the mom in a situation? On a zoo? Ain't the projects a zoo for humans? Anyway. Rangers at whatever began finding the dead bodies of endangered white rhinoceros. At first, poachers were suspected, but the huge rhinos had not died of gunshot wounds, and their precious horns were left intact. The rhinos appeared to be killed violently, with deep puncture wounds. Not much in the wild can kill a rhino, so rangers set up hidden cameras throughout the park. The results were shocking. The culprits turned out to be the marauding band of aggressive juvenile male elephants. The very elephants relocated from Kruger National Park a few years earlier. The young males were caught on camera chasing down the rhinos, knocking them over and stumping and goring them to death with their tusks. The juvenile elephants were terrorizing other animals in the park as well. Such behavior was very rare among elephants. Something had gone terribly wrong. So basically, these juveniles growing up and start tearing stuff up. They start terrorizing the neighborhood. Why was they terrorizing the neighborhood? Elephants don't do that. Some of the park rangers settled on a theory. What had been missing from the relocated herd was the presence of the large, dominant bulls that remained at Kruger. In natural circumstances, the adult bulls provided modeling behavior for younger elephants, keeping them in line. You know where the story going, right? Juvenile male elephants, Dr. Horn pointed out, experience a state of frenzy triggered by mating seasons and increases in testosterone. Normally, dominant bulls manage and contain the testosterone-induced frenzy in the younger males, because the adult man came in and set order up in that joint. But when you have no man around and you have these testosterone-filled young dudes, young punks running around, that testosterone make a young boy act crazy, especially around mating season. Anyway, that's enough for me. Let me finish this because I think y'all know where I'm going with this. It said, to test the theory, the ranger conducted a bigger and stronger harness, then flew in some of the older bulls left at Kruger. Within weeks, the bizarre and violent behavior of the juvenile elephants stopped completely. The older bulls let them know that their behaviors were not elephant-like at all. In a short time, the younger elephants were followed by the older and more dominant bulls around while learning how to be elephants. Or in this case, learning how to be man. We don't attract women by being violent. We attract women by being men. Because men attract women. Women are attracted to men, not little boy, and not immature males. But if a little girl grows up only seeing a certain type of male around her, she grows up to think that's how men act. So what's the point of the story? That without men or true fathers in society, society goes downhill. You end up going to a society where you have these young punks terrorizing the neighborhood. Young, dumb, and full of cum. And all they do is end up in prison because they had no male role model. They was acting emotional just like they seen Single Mama. That young black queen. That young black crackhead. Who's obviously selling, and when it comes to crack mamas, as Tupac said, you always was a crack fiend or a crack fiend, but as a black queen? Well, let me tell you something about a mama who's on crack. Because a mama who's on crack is going to spend all her money not on baby's diapers. In fact, she can care less if your diaper is full of doo-doo. She's trying to scrape up that change to go get her another rock. That's not how queens act, Tupac. But anyway, to all you fathers out there, salute you, brother. And all you stupid woman that's making these stupid choices, land on your back, let any dude come in you and have kids by you, you ain't mothers and fathers. You're just a dumb female who let this dude come spit weak game to you. And now you live in the consequence and want somebody to commend you and make you feel less guilty for messing up your child's future. That's all I gotta say. Until next time, adios.